So in a previous video, I said that I had entered the astral realm for a few seconds, didn't I? And I said that I saw my dog. And I understand that things in the astral realm often have a link to your waking state in life. Like you being awake and walking around unconscious. And so I've been thinking about it a lot. And before I had that astral projection, I was thinking like, I used to think a lot about what my dog is feeling and like how she's trying to communicate things to me. Like I was thinking a lot about that, and I don't know why. But then it popped up in my astral projection. I'm like, maybe the dog's trying to communicate something to me. Like maybe, because we don't know what level animals can like process thoughts and stuff. We know that they can like act instinctually and learn behaviours, which means they probably have access to other parts of their brains, but they're just unable to communicate it to us in the human language. So we don't understand. Maybe there is a way of understanding that communicating to them through your mind's eye, through emotions, because dogs and humans both bond with the same chemical, which is oxytocin. So there's something we have in common, and that's why people could get so attached to animals, such as dogs, pets. Yeah. So oxytocin and the way brain chemicals work. So imagine how many more chemicals in their brain that dogs share with us that we're unaware of. Like other ways of communication, like on a deeper level, on a subconscious level. Like in other people, well, for me anyway, I'm able to pick up like a lot of the energy from other people. So like I sometimes get confused which is what my energy I'm feeling and what another person's energy is. They sometimes get a bit mangled, but it's very interesting when you learn to like become a master of it, be able to like allow it to flow and then use it for the positive by like being able to empathize with people more and stuff. Yeah. That's very interesting, like thinking about like how intelligent animals actually are. Like we're just animals, but we're just further on into evolution. Or maybe we're not. Maybe all animals are further on into evolution, but they've all got different purposes in life. So they're obviously not going to evolve in the same way we are. They're going to evolve in the areas that they need most. And like our ability to communicate has allowed us to like progress more intellectually and be able to figure things out about the universe and progress in that sort of way, and like industrialized places, build houses and stuff. Whereas other animals, like let's say fish for instance, they don't need that. But what if they are communicating? Like, I mean, they obviously are, but they don't have like a specific language. They just make noises. Otherwise, like they don't even think in words, do they? They must. Do you think animals think in the way that they make sounds? How mad is that? Like, it's so mad. Like animals are just amazing. Maybe we need to show them more like appreciation and attention. Maybe that's why I saw my dog in my astral projection, because she wants a bit more attention of me. She wants me to show her more love. She wants me to do things with her more. Like, because in essence they are just like the conscious beings with like emotions and feelings, and they're able to act in certain ways. Like for example, a dog which has been kept in a cage for its entire life and trapped badly, once let out of the cage, it won't run around because it's never learnt that as a puppy. It'll go and sit in a corner or like try and eat itself or something because that's all it's known. All it's known is pain, which shows animals develop in a similar way to people. For example, if you've got a person who's had a really bad upbringing and a really bad childhood, then they're not exactly gonna grow up to be the most empathetic people, are they? They're not going to be very sociable. They'll often want to like stay indoors all the time because that's all they've ever learned. Like, people and animals have so much in common. So many people are unconscious about this, and it's so sad that people can treat animals or other people for that matter like badly. But I guess again, it all goes to the way you've been brought up and your genetics. Like, I don't think genetics play as much into it because obviously, even if you've got the psychopathic gene, you could still grow up learning love and attention, like, because they are learned behaviours. Like, maybe the psychopathic gene only becomes activated during negative states in your life where you haven't been able to learn the positive reactions to things that you should be having, rather than lashing out or holding anger and hatred towards other people, so much so that you want to just hurt the vulnerable and you don't really care much about anyone, to be honest. Everything you do in life becomes about you and what you want. Very selfish perception on life. But you become clever about it, you become devious, you're able to do it and like manipulate. 1 minute, something popped up. You're able to like manipulate how people work and the way people act towards you through showing them love and then making them do something mean, but then they're able to justify just doing something mean by the gifts and stuff that they bought you earlier. I went through a big part of my life actually looking into psychopathic behaviours and the way narcissistic people work. Because I don't know, I just found it interesting. Like, it intrigued me to think that certain people were able to like be so like evil, but then again, it is all the way to do with your brain works and the way you're perceiving people acting towards you, leading you to act in certain ways. Like, I guess someone who was bullied as a kid is a lot more likely to have psychological problems as they grow up in life. Or maybe even the kids who bully also have that same mentality. Like, they feel threatened by other people, so they take it out on the good kids. It's all just a scale. There is no like one definite psychopath, no one definite normal person. It's all just a scale. You're placed somewhere along that scale, and then there's the little scales coming off of it, which are all the different man-made diseases we have today, like mental illnesses and stuff. But they are all man-made. Like, the brain named itself, and the brain and all the other little aspects of the brain were named by the brain. So that's mad to think about as well. But because we name it all ourselves, then how does that make it right? Because there's so many things that we believe are right in the world, but like, look at it this way, like slavery and like black rights and women's equality, like, they've only come around in the last 150 years, and think about how much of a small pocket that is compared to the entire like existence on planet Earth, like of human existence. Like, that's such a long time to be able to like realise that equality is the right way. Like, we're only just being able to like start and realise these moral standards. And we believed we were right for all that time before that. So imagine how many of the things now that we feel are right in the world in the future will become looked down upon, or like, and they'll be seen as like very bad things. Like war. I reckon in the future we'll get enough people to awaken to the idea that war is wrong and no one really wins, that there will be no war. There'll be like vocal conflict, maybe a little bit, but not really conflict. It'll all be about trying to sort it out and figure out the way forward, not just like acting upon primal aggression and fighting, because that's not what humans stand for in my eyes. But then again, that is just my perception. Anyway, I'm losing my voice, so I'm gonna like leave you with that. Okay, right, bye.